Hi, so today I'm joined with Chris Panteli from Linkify, and obviously you've got a great podcast in Market Movers. So I want to kind of touch upon the importance of podcasting and what podcasting's done for your brand, for one, your personal brand, but two, also for the agency. So why do you think it's important to now be going on the podcasting circuit?
Good question. I just think there are so many benefits to having your own podcast. For us, I put it into sort of three main buckets. One, it grows your personal brand and visibility and authority, and you can get people onto your podcasts that are either more authoritative within your specific industry or adjacent industries, and that can sort of level you up the way that you appear, through search, AI search, all of those things. Number two, it's a great platform once you've built up a podcast that's got some credibility to invite ideal prospects on. It's really good to get them on, talk about them, their businesses, their concerns, their thoughts, and start to be able to nurture a relationship. And three, it's a great place to invite people on that you want to talk to and learn from. So rather than paying like a 20k consulting fee, if you can get them on your show, you've got them for half an hour or an hour, pick their brains.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, there's the benefits as well from if you was looking at it strictly from, let's say, an SEO standpoint, it's going to get you 30 new referring domains with semantic triples of having Chris Panteli is the founder of Market Movers podcast, and you're also the founder of, let's say, Linkify. It's broadcasting your name out there, your agency name out there on places like Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple. You can go and get yourself an IMDb profile as well for both you and also your agency. So like I'm all in it. I'm like last year I was going through creating and offering 8 different books, and to be fair, a couple of those books have done very, very well for me and got me quite a significant amount of business in. Next year, I'm doing everything on podcasting. So I'm going all in on podcasting. Just like you've said there, the distribution and the name that you can get out there, you can connect your entity of yourself with other people that's authoritative. So I'm going to have like one of them, which is specifically for entrepreneurs and business people. But like you said, you can then end up getting some ideal customer personas on there and asking them questions of what they might be looking for when they're choosing a specific company for SEO or digital PR and stuff like that. But then obviously then you can level up and get others on that might be at the top of the game with regards to the services that you provide. So is there any little tips and tricks if someone's watching this and they go, do you know what, I might set up my own podcast? Like there's a horrible stat that shows that 85% of people that start a podcast quit before episode number 9. So for me, one big key takeaway for anyone watching this is if you're going to do it, you've got to commit and you've got to go, do you know what? I'm going to do 50 episodes. I'm not going to quit. Even if I only get 2 views and that's my mum and my dad, I'm going to carry it on until I've done 50 episodes, because you don't want to be one of them that quits too soon. So, but what else would you give? Any bits of advice that you would give to anyone who might be saying, do you know what? I'm going to create my own podcast.
Yeah. Not quitting is definitely a good goal. You can, my advice is to watch some YouTube videos on setting up. Don't go with an agency. There's no need. It'll be super expensive. There's no need to do it. You don't need to have the perfect thumbnail for your show. You don't need the perfect bed music. You can use tools like Podbean, which is super cheap, really good entry level, easily connects your RSS feed so you can auto push it to Spotify, Apple, all of that with one click. You can even use that tool to easily segment and put like little ads in at the timestamp that you want. I would recommend just getting the first one done. You'll get better and better as you do each. I would recommend batch booking as well. So when we started, we used to let people book on an open calendar, which became unmanageable. We find it so much easier now. We just have one day where our calendar's open and people can book. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 recordings on the same day. That's really, really good piece of advice, I think. Don't stress over stats. Like as is just our line, our sort of growth listenership curve has gone very, very nicely from left to right upwards. But I think that will happen organically anyway. research your guests, get people on that you want to have on your show. I think that's it.
Yeah, for me, I think a big one that we've done, I've launched the Fat Rank podcast and the James Dooley podcast. And there's 5 more that I'm launching next year. But he's getting a media kit. So when you're outreaching to someone, why do they want to be on your podcast? So you kind of put that media kit together of showing like maybe how many subscribers that you have or how many views that it's had. Now, obviously, the last few podcast episodes have only had 20 views. You combine them all together and say, okay, in the last month we've had over 5,000 views to make it look a bit nicer. But you put your media pack together and what they might be able to get out of it. So maybe who your demographic of listeners are. So if you're, let's say, an accountant and you're saying, I've got loads of business owners that are looking to grow, but they might also want some tax advice as well. You might want to get them on. Then for me, that would make sense for an entrepreneur and a business podcast to be able to go in line with it. But when I'm reaching out to these, I've got to make certain I'm understanding what benefits they're going to get. Otherwise, they're like, well, I don't want to jump on your podcast to benefit you. So they want something out of it. So I think that's a big one. I love the idea of batch booking. So doing it all together, because I couldn't think of anything worse than going, in 3 hours I've got one, then tomorrow I've got one, and the next day I've got, and you're just like, no, you if you can't fit Wednesday this week, then it's Wednesday next week. Do you know what I mean? Like that, that is it. And then at least then all your kind of studio setup, your lighting setup all in one, right, it's out the way, I've block booked, I've done 10 episodes in the day, right, happy days, it's finished. Like I liked what you said about with regards to this setup. Don't worry about thumbnails. Don't even worry about, I wouldn't even worry yet about the audio and the camera. Obviously, you want to try and have, if it's going to be video, a nice camera, and you want a decent kind of microphone. But I'd say just get started. And then in time, it will always be better. Not only that, I quite like the idea of your first few episodes just being average and you're going, wow, look at these improvements that we've started to do along the way. I think too many people procrastinate with regards to getting this perfect episode where I'm just like, just get started, just get the first 5 done and then get a few people watching it and then just keep incrementally like improving upon it.
Yeah, that's all great advice. Another thing I would add to that as well, actually, in terms of like your outreach messaging and media kit, if you can get somebody on, really put some effort to get like a name within like the sub niche that you're focusing on. So to give an example, we're obviously in the SEO niche. Neil Patel is a huge name in that niche. So I really aggressively tried to get Neil Patel on. We got him on. That meant then when I was outreaching to other influential SEOs, I was able to say, we've had Neil Patel on. Yeah, and instantly they're like, oh, I've heard of him. Like, this show must be all right. Same with like Ideal Prospects. I managed to get a couple of really influential people in the real estate space, and we're deep in the real estate space. So then when I reach out to other people, I can say, hey, we've had this guy on. That I know they've heard of them, which means it instantly breaks down that barrier of, okay. And then like you said as well, offer what's beyond that. What value are they getting? We say it'll be a professionally produced podcast. We'll do all the shorts and like media stuff for you. We'll post on social, and it'll grow your authority. It'll build your brand, your visibility and recognition within the industry.
Yeah, for sure. And then what you're doing with regards to amplification of the podcast. So like, obviously, I'm presuming you're getting your podcast. You're saying you're using Podbean. There is others like, let's say, Buzzsprout or Transistor. There are 2 other kind of RSS syndication kind of podcasting kind of tools that can be being used. But apart from the syndication out, are you doing anything with regards to like indexing those URLs? Because some of them struggle to index. Are you sharing them on social media? Are you building any links to them? Are you doing a press release? Like, what other things are you doing to try to promote that kind of podcast further?
I haven't looked into the indexing of the URLs, but there's obviously a bunch of indexing tools you can use for that. We're heavy on social media and then repurposing the content and then leveraging the audiences of the guests. So if the guest has an audience, you want to really focus on social media, video shorts. Then there's loads that you can do with it as well. Like we'll use AI to analyze the transcripts, break down like mini courses. If we've had someone on that's given like really granular advice for a particular industry or a particular strategy, you can then repurpose that, send it out to your email list. You can get them to like watch the episode, dive into the course. Like there's endless things you can do. It's just finding what works for you and your industry, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So if anyone's watching this and you're uncertain what to do with regards to going into 2026, as a holistic marketer, in my opinion, you should be omnichannel, you should be omnipresent. So you should be seen on social media. You should make certain that you're doing good quality SEO, maybe running some PPC, if it's just brand protection, running some social media ads, being seen on YouTube, having images that are ranking. And obviously now we're adding this now saying audio kind of sharing. Try to be seen on the audio sharing platforms. More and more people now when they're driving into work, they've got these podcasts on. I think podcasting is huge. I think it's been around for a long time. It's still such an underused kind of method of marketing that should be being used a lot more. Like you said there, you can amplify it a lot further. If anyone's not checked out Market Movers yet, make sure you go and check it out. It is a great podcast. He's had some amazing guests on already. If anyone needs to reach out to you, Chris, how can they get hold of yourself to maybe if they want to get on the Market Movers podcast, what's the best way of getting hold of yourself?
Yeah, fire me an email, chris@linkify.io, or hit me up on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and what's your LinkedIn? Is it just Chris Panteli?
Christopher Panteli.
Christopher Panteli. So anyone who's watching this, hopefully, if you do end up launching your own podcast, leave a link in the comments. I'd love to kind of subscribe and hopefully share it and get you on potentially as a guest myself as well. So thank you very much, and hopefully you'll be doing some podcasting in 2026.